Astra Abyssa. Recently, the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commitment.
A traveler would be the most suitable candidate.
Indeed. As ever, I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available? Well, let me go over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently—
Rift Hounds? On Narukami Island?
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. The sacred Sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust good. Then you can see that this—
Is the Tenryu Commission aware?
Yes, and they are already taking action of their own. However, given that the sacred Sakura's root system is vast and complex, their main priority is to protect the civilian population. So they are actively looking to cooperate. The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryu Commission with their work. But so far, the combined efforts to combat the Rift Towns has failed. You have our deepest gratitude. Your confident response puts— I will mark on your map the areas where Rift Town appearances have been—
Relax. We'll be back before you can... The sacred Sakura's in danger again, huh? Who'd have thought? Keeping the sacred Sakura safe was Hanachiru Sato's greatest wish, and now these mangy mutts are trying to destroy it! Time to teach him a lesson! You're attacking the sacred Sakura! Stop them!
Transfixed! As one with wind and cloud! My turn. Witness my lies. Overruled.
Wow, there are so many of them! No wonder the Tenryu Commission needed help! Come on, Traveler, you can take them!
Torn to oblivion!
Shogun? Wait, no! Could also be...
Oh, it's you two. It has been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryu
Okay, sounds more like A. You sure made short work of them! That was amazing!
I'm making early preparations for what is to— Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking,
Makes sense. You must get super...
might I remind you that I am not— Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you. If the Shogun, rather than I, were to discover them, yes.
Why?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to— But Rift Hounds attacking the sacred Sakura.
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless the monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil. And the Rift, their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call an even more powerful So you've heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with...
Since we are both here for the same reason, let it— From the traces they've left in the surrounding area,
Paimon feels so safe when we're in Ace Company. Having someone uber... Oh yeah, after we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to... This color! It's similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage. Let's follow it. It should be this way.
Transfixed! The wind knows me.
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to...
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing? Huh? What's this? Could they be dead people? But why?
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are
What happened here?
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sight, we will defend Inazuma until our dying... You don't know? Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. Every last trace of humanity's existence.
But look,
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, the almighty Shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely on, but I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then...
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's... the Shogun? You're back. Please, we beg you. You have to help us. Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please. Or...
Calm down. The war you...
Over. But...
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. There are no monsters.
What? But how? Just moment. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
hey, calm down.
Huh. I think I understand. Oh... Yes. We were right to place our trust. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
What's wrong with him?
He's gone.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all.
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw, the sacred Sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the Rift Hounds attacked, some of this filth, an entity formed with strong filth, would be highly aggressive. But when purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words...
So the memories of the ones that died are all...
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now... Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others... The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late. But my friend, Kitsune Saigu, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the... I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it...
So... Inazuma was attacked at the same time?
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. I never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe... But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies...
Hey?
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring all my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the But after my clash with human ambition, I thought when I traveled around Inazuma with you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the century. Moving forward inevitably invites further loss. Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, all those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. As Inazuma's god, it is warriors of the past who spilled your blood on this land. I will never forget you. And all—
He's taking all this pretty hard.
Come on.
Expected there are a load of rift hounds here too.
Leave them to me. There is no escape!
Huh? Something seems wrong with A.
Why would you ask that?
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish.
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy. Although I have some understanding of the situation already, I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters—
Ah, makes sense. The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely— Hey, the same light is leaking out again.
Furuyama?
Almighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought—
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds like this.
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a teammate, though blind. Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in— It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought— I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the— After all, it's quite a mess out there.
What should we do? Yeah.
I see. So, they have fought their way. Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless. And now the Almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away. Imagine if this was something that even the Almighty Shogun was. People flee out of a desire to live on. And the desire to live on stems from a fear. But me, I have no such thoughts. And the Almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her, just listening to her stories. I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. Over time, I've come— One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears completely. So you see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced—
Perhaps you are right.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the Almighty Shogun for the last time. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survive— Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me. The Almighty Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. One moment, I'll just— I hope—
Can't see it.
Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, I couldn't possibly have my guests fetch it themselves. That—
Don't worry about it. Take a rest.
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No.
This place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea house in... Leave it to us.
But, well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I can't decide whether it's a final regret.
Where should we go to find a tea set? Having a cup of tea isn't exactly the most urgent thing to do right now, but at the same time, this lovely old man from 500 years ago has been through so much, and it makes Paimon so sad.
I'm also feeling very nostalgic for his tea.
Oh, why don't we go to the Kamisato estate? There'll definitely be a tea set we can borrow there.
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro committee.
Oh, sure. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the...
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler.
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal...
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he...
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial... So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon, who was all... He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of the philosophy of life that he shared with us just now. That was Makoto's view on reality.
You and Makoto had pretty different views.
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us. In her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. They are similar, but when you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky. Now, it seems like she was right.
Wow. There sure was...
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, an ambition is a yearning for something material or a concrete outcome. Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place.
That's...
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't... I didn't understand at the time. How can I suppose what it comes down to is the definition... Yes, it does. I always thought that in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple...
Do you feel you're starting to understand?
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity, but now I no longer cling to what was lost.
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for...
It's quite beautiful.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the almighty Shogun.
It's all good, sir. She's a...
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama...
He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set.
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him.
So we didn't even have a chance to...
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. Well, this chance won't come often, and we do have a tea set. I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. The tea is ready. Please give it a try. So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. You're right. But the things I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who I back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation, the events of 500 years ago. Not only robbed me.
She died in that disaster too.
Yes. She went to Conria alone, without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen but this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or, yes. It was too late. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point. So all I could do was enter into... It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness.
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. No one questioned it. And yet, its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of with the help of the sacred Sakura's power.
This is all really hard to understand.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue. And it's time I came to terms with it all.
Oh, while we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person...
Sister? I had heard that you were looking for... You mean to say that she was somehow involved in the
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems...
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over. And also, my mind was consumed and so I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's a boy. Both of you have experienced...
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the tea. Thank you, Destiny, for...
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last. Once again,
Hey!
Inazuma shines eternally!
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
My apology.
Don't worry about it. We'll deal with the Look, that's the same light again.
Where am I? Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too. Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Come on, men. They're coming back for more.
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will...
Is that a vision?
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have... If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for...
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
Nobody knew where Your Excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has This hope is the light that will guide us out.
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too!
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Protect the Almighty Shogun!
Wanted my full attention, did you? This is where you fall. Overruled.
Clouds high. The birds call. The wind knows me.
Laid bare.
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I feel much better all.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe. The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a... Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the generals.
When everyone sees the Almighty Shogun safely return...
Well, what are you guys gonna...
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
Just leave it to us. But the Almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affair. No matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we...
Oh, thank you all very much. I should not have left it this late to make this promise.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live. With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun! Glory to the Shogun!
They're gone.
It was both. The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, the result being that in the centuries since, you could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless. But even so, they are due a resolution.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years late...
Thank you for your comforting words. But I used to think just like that samurai. That I was first and foremost, but what Inazuma needs more than a warrior, even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was. I still need... Yes, they are. As the Raiden Shogun they revere.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things...
Change will come to Inazuma. And with it, new possibility, no matter how long it takes. I am committed to... Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this...
Alrighty then, let's move on. It looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets her emotion. She seems to have changed a lot since we... Huh? What's wrong, eh? Come on, keep up. What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
My body... It looks like... the situation... No need. She is calling me. I need to go to the cave below the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Why? What's in there?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the... We're finally here. The end.
Whoa! Where'd that Torii gate come from?
This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The end. It looks like she will no longer allow me to...
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she?
Follow me.
Where are we Paimon's dizzy. Where did we get sucked? Whoa. This place... Look! Look over there! It's another A!
We meet again, traveler. This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules. Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Wait! Paimon knows that voice! Is that... the puppet?
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct, don't you? But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible... I'm here to show you my answer. We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have shall be
wait! The atmosphere in... are you,
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my continued use, as she indicates. Once I started entertaining the idea of change, But inside a realm of consciousness, I exist independently. Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary, she appears here to confront me.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but not like this! It's a bit extreme! Hey, showdown with the Shogun? Never
The rules I set for the Shogun are... No. The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my... I would not try to change her if it wasn't necessary.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something? But they both just want the best for Ina.
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty, in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes the Raiden Shogun. It inherits Ei's pain, the pain of inevitable loss that comes as she moves forward. So too does it inherit her every action undertaken is for this determination, courage, love, hatred. All of these will be only rules shall remain constant for... Those were my thoughts when I created you. Now, they are towering obstacles that... You wish to make yourself my enemy? I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity. And I am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Raiden A. In the end, even the proud and mighty Oni Maiden was cut down and disgraced. When your blade has been cleansed of her blood and filth, never shall it shine as bright as it once did. Illusion shattered! Inferior. Torn to oblivion! Pathetic. Be gone! The eye sweeps the lands. The kitsune sakura blossoms that once filled the skies fell to the ground as pitch-black rain. As long as the ley lines flow, the relentless erosion of time will never stop.
She's completely recovered?
Now you shall perish! Be gone! Weak. Shine down! The divine lightning that envelops all of Inazuma will fade silently into the clouds. There shall never be another. Never. For the rest of time. Torn to oblivion! Erase all threats. Euthymia crumbles before
Have you finally defeated her?
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain?
How the heck?
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is... She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living being's, including...
Then, does that mean that...
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future... If I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change. And this is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries. And no matter how 500 years ago, humanity proved theirs. Here in the present, they rely on their ambition to challenge wayward practices, tear them out like the diseased wood. It is about time that I learned to... I understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke are... I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. However long, I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall one day return during my absence. I place everything.
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
Looks like we got kicked out. Oh, what do we do? Are we really just gonna... She was making sense. And maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still... Right? Also, A can be pretty stubborn at times. What if she gets too obsessed with winning, and she forgets why she's there in the first place? It could happen. And then she might... Yeah, we should help her out, like we did last... Is there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her... Well, whatever. We can't let anything bad happen to... Oh, but we also can't get... Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice. Don't feel Paimon now. Okay. Oh, you're right. Paimon nearly... Who knows if she really understands these consciousness realm play...
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess. You're all I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile.
But you're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech. Do you understand?
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened. It's A. She...
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while impossibly stubborn. Jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable, presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now? Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, so you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort...
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose.
Aha, you're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura. And from what I've heard, it's a little different.
Because Raiden Makoto is no longer a...
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. Anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. First things first. Follow me. Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how... To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, in other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location...
So, it's abstract, but has a location, but you don't know where...
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave. This is precisely why when entering the plane of euthymia, it's much safer.
What? Alright, well, Paimon, stay here then. You two can go in.
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big...
Paimon's had it up to here with both of you! Fine! Paimon's coming too.
Oh. Well, if you're quite sure, then of course. I say. Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. By the way, remember to focus constantly. Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Well then, the door's open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond. I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
Miko, you better know what you're doing!
That's enough chatter. Get to work. Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Huh? How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years? This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it over countless battles. Not once have you lost. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rule, you bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity. Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel? Huh. So you're finally willing... Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new. The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the rise and fall of nations. Energy they consume, great enough to vaporize the oceans and turn day into night. And the will they demanded, sufficient to penetrate minds and crush dreams. Yet, you have endured. I will endure forever. This is the end. You have won. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems... But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to... You need not worry about the future. And I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, yet... My reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my... And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within miHoYo. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new... This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power when I When I clasped miHoYo in my hands, it was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one. You have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer from this day forth. This body will remain yours. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, you truly have changed. I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow. The duties I perform will not change, but as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to... Do you... It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting?
Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duty. Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I left a faint fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power... a convoluted way to reach you, but... Well, there was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. But... you never mentioned this to me. Everything happened so suddenly. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness. Did you know what was about to happen in Conria? I had some sense of it. That place... Oh, in my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know, but I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey. Don't look down on me. See? It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Here, take it. Before my last... But it is you who must take the most important...
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh? Is it really? Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, A? I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh? Goodbye, Makoto.
So the A of the present planted the sacred Sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past. No matter what you make of it, it's quite...
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to...
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precise. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now...
I don't fully understand yet. But...
Well, I'm not...
I know what you mean. Perhaps a higher power really was involved in all of this. But whatever the explanation, without the sacred Sakura, Inazuma would likely have...
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred Sakura. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred Sakura and Mako.
No. But I understand why now.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than...
The sacred Sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like it.
Ugh. Now we see who's pulling the string.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank, and obviously I played my part. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself. At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies, and suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately help.
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always...
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great... My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You too have my thanks.
A, how are you feeling?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's...
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really... After all...
I only heard her voice. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, I have to say. This has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto... She even factored my immaturity into her plan. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see... I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again.
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the shadows cast by the... Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and...
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never...
Makoto said the exact...
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of Shogun for a couple of days? Actually, no. Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much... The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today. After that, I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
Really? That's huge news!
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for... I'm looking forward to it. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. Abolishing the Sakoku decree has a myriad of implications. For example, I can foresee the outside world posing a threat.
Hey, you're thinking about this all so conscientiously.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. Makoto's gaze was always fixed on the people of but now, I see that hers was a gaze full of delight.
If the people of the past deserved the god's attention...
Indeed. No longer will I ignore... Many challenges still lie ahead for To put it bluntly, faced with an endless battle, I had to remain focused, safe to say. Were it not for my previous experience, and through it all, many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten. It's not only the monsters that I am worried about.
That's a tough one, all right. There's plenty.
Since you clearly understand, many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. But I am prepared.
Yai Miko said nothing of the sort. And the traveler has some nerve making up Some words are not to be passed on. Trust me, you don't want to know the cost of betraying me. Just think of the things I said to you as out.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. But I am prepared for them. Many challenges still lie ahead for